everyone, it's Melissa. Today's video is I'm going to talk about my skincare, namely my Obagi Skincare system that I have used for years and years. I've talked about it a lot over the time I've been on YouTube, but I wanted to talk about how year after year I make it work for me, adjusting, analyzing my skin, seeing what products I can swap out, add to, and take away, and things like that. Before I get started, I wanted to tell you all to go watch a video by Lisa D1. She did a really good Obagi video that I enjoyed a lot, and I think you'll get a lot out of it. Let's see, I'll be 68 in April, and I think Lisa is about 50, so I'm about 17, 18 years older than she is, so you can get two age groups opinion on the system and how it works for them. You can get how Obagi works for me as an older woman and how it works for Lisa as a younger woman. So be sure you go watch that video. So the Obagi Skincare system, I use the original called the Obagi New Derm that you buy from like a med spa, a dermatologist, doctor's office that is trained to use it and that sells it. And I really do believe you should be using this system under a doctor's care. They know your history, they know your skin, they can look at things and, talk to them and do what they say instead of somebody over on YouTube, over the internet. But I'm just sharing how this system has worked for me and how much I really do like it and how I've, worked with it. And Obagi does not know me. I don't get anything from them. I just love the system and I'm very loyal to it. So that's why I'm sharing it. I am not a medical professional. Of course, I always have to say that. I actually know pretty little about skin. I just know my own skin and I know what I like and what I feel makes my skin look its healthiest or its best. And that's an important thing, is to know your own skin and what works for your particular skin type and age and, everything about your skin. Okay, so I mentioned that the Obagi that I use is the medical. So I'm going to kind of put it over here. Obagi has evolved through the years. So they have like a kind that you can buy over the internet. So it's kind of like, I call it over-the-counter Obagi, and then the medical, part Obagi is over here. This is the one I use. Now, the kind that is the medical that I use, you use it with retin-A, and two of the products have hydroquinone in them. The kind that is over the counter, they have like, instead of retin-A, they have like a retinoid, and they have a product that does not have hydroquinone. So, it's a bit confusing because some of the products actually do overlap into both systems, but I don't know anything about the over-the-counter kind. I've never used it, don't know anything about it. I just know the medical part that I have used for years and years. Now this kind, first thing, this kind that I use, the medical thing, you use it with retin-A. So I really firmly believe that before you even think about Obagi, you have a really good grasp and quite a bit of time of using retin-A. And I think, or this is the way I've always looked at it, you use the least amount that you need at the time and save your big guns as you need them as you age. I just think skincare is a long-term commitment. It's the big picture. It is not immediate gratification. It is what is best and what makes your skin look best over the years. And I just think that's real important to realize that it's skin health and skin clearing and skin taking care of your skin for years, not just getting a quick fix. If you're not using retin-A, if you're not using it frequently, if you're at a point where the retin-A needs to be boosted, if you're not at that point, then you don't need to use Obagi. I really believe that. You don't. It is not time for you to use it, and you don't need to add it to your skincare. Obagi boosts, this line of Obagi boosts Retin-A a whole lot. So if you are not used to Retin-A, it's just going to, it's going to tear your skin up. It's going to be very hard on your skin. So before you do it, I mean, of course, do what your doctor says, but before you do it, think about being on Retin-A for a while. And when I first started, well, let me tell you my sequence. I was on Retin-A, started in about 1987. I added, and I did that for years, and I was satisfied. And then about 25 years ago, because let's see, we've lived in this house for 23 years, and it was at our old house when I started using it. So a good 25 years ago, I heard about the Obagi. A family member was using it, and I felt like my skin needed to be boosted. So I added it to the Retin-A, and then all that peeling and everything started again. It really, really boosts it. And then and so I did that for a long time. Then about 10 years, I added vitamin C serum. So my journey has been long-term, and it has been gradual. I am very devoted, and you will hear throughout this video that I credit anything that is good about my skin to the Obagi system. I really do. And the way that several dermatologists have explained to me to the way that Obagi boosts your Retin-A is a couple of the products that Obagi has the molecules are smaller than Retin-A molecules. So when you mix them in your palm with the Retin-A, they liken it to the Retin-A, piggybacking on the smaller molecules and going deeper into your skin. So like I said, if you're not used to Retin-A, you don't want it going deeper into your skin. It just, that just sort of makes sense. But if you're a long-time Retin-A user and you feel like it's time to boost it, then I think it's a good thing to look at the Obagi system. Now, this system is not for everyone. If you have very sensitive skin, if you live in a harsh climate, it just may not be the skincare system for you. And that's fine, we're all different. But if it's something that, you think that you want to explore, then maybe this video will be helpful getting my point of view on it. Now, when I started on Retin-A, I'm just going to briefly go into this. I think a big mistake that people make with starting Retin-A is that they mix it with other products. They'll do serums and they'll do layers of things and this and that. And then you're just opening it up to irritation. Every dermatologist has told me when you're starting out, only use your Retin-A. And just use a real mild, for any dry areas that are really bad, moisturizer. But just use the Retin-A. Don't use anything else. Don't use a toner, cleanse your skin. Don't use a toner. Don't use anything else. Only use the Retin-A. Then get used to that. And then if you want to add other things. So same thing goes with the Obagi. Once you've been using your Retin-A and you're ready to add the Obagi, just add the Obagi. Don't mix it with other layers and layers and layers. Like I said, I didn't add the vitamin C serum until I was fully used to the Obagi. So first I got fully used to the Retin-A. Then I got fully used to the Obagi. Then I added vitamin C serum. And as the years go by, I add and subtract other things. But I just think it's important. These are good systems and good products, and the Retin-A is an extremely good product, so let it do its work and don't sabotage yourself. That's my advice, because that was the advice that was given to me, and it really, really mattered. Okay, so when I have done Obagi videos before, I've had several questions, and so I'm going to go ahead and answer them now, or comments about it. The first one was, have I had procedures or fillers done or Botox? And no, none of that. I have told y'all that several times before. Nothing wrong with it if that's what you choose to do, not a thing wrong with it. It's just what I choose not to do. So I don't want to, you know, I've had to have lots of surgeries with my Crohn's, and I don't want to have any surgeries. So I don't want to have a facelift because I will have more surgeries on my Crohn's disease over the years. So I don't want unnecessary surgeries. I don't want to inject anything into my body that I can help it unless it's for a medical reason. And so that's just my philosophy. But if you don't choose that way, that's fine too. Okay. Another thing I get, well, what about hormone replacement therapy? I do a low dose of estrogen on a patch. That is all. It was higher, and when I lowered it, I thought, well, my skin's going to go all to pot because my hair fell out and my mood, and I started having some hot flashes, but I did get through them, but my skin stayed the same. It didn't go differently at all, and I credit the Obagi for that. And then another thing, I guess, you know, well, I get asked, well, what is your genetics with skin? And it is not good. My mother had very bad skin, very aged skin. She died in her 70s, so just a few years older than me, and she had a lot of wrinkles and very saggy skin, and she just, you know, her whole wish was, I wish I could get a facelift. I wish I could get a facelift. But I finally started her on the Obagi, and it made such a difference to her skin and made her feel so much better about herself toward the end of her life. So it wasn't ever too late to start, because it did make a huge difference with her. And let's see, another thing I get asked, what about, do you use it around your eyes? Now, you are not supposed to use retin-A around your eyes in these products, and I sort of cheat a little bit, but this is what I do. I'm not saying that you should do it. What I'll do is I'll put it all on my face, neck, and ears. Like my retin-A mixed with my blender at night. I'll mix it in my palm. I'll put it all over. Then I'll take a little bit maybe off my cheek and dab it like right here, and through my eyebrows, keeping it away from my eyeballs. It's a smudge. That's all it is. It's a smudge. But I feel like it's enough that it sort of helps while I sleep to work on wrinkles and things around my eyes. I do not use an eye cream. I just smear on the outskirts of my eyeball, like right there. So I'm always real careful not to get in my eyeball, and I have not had any trouble doing that at all. But, you know, you have to listen to your doctor with that. The next thing I get is, oh, it's expensive and pricey. It is, but so is a lot of other skincare, and so are a lot of procedures. So I feel like in the long run, by sticking to this one thing, I end up saving money, and I've gotten it down to where I just use 2 products now. I can get by with using just 2 of the products. I used the whole system at the beginning, but now my skin got used to it, and sort of as a maintenance, I keep it at 2 products. So that helps save me money. I don't do a lot of layers. I don't do a whole lot of serums. I don't do this skincare, that skincare, and some of it is expensive, you know. Lancome is expensive, Estee Lauder is expensive, La Mer, you know, a lot of skincare is expensive, and they do a whole lot of layers, and then they'll do an eye cream, they'll do a neck cream. So I don't do any of that, and I don't do Botox. That's expensive. A facelift is very expensive, and injections or fillers, they're expensive. So I feel like I save money that way, and I don't do any of the electronic things, you know, that I see. So I don't spend money on anything else, just these particular products. So I do feel like it's competitive that way. Okay, so how I get Obagi to work for me throughout the years, and as I get older and older, there are still a few Obagi products that I don't use that I am saving year after year for in the future, you know, for me to use as I get older and older and older. And one thing that I can do is kind of add a little product here and there. When you get so used to a system, or on my skin anyway, and I suspect a lot of you might be like that, when you get so used to a system, one little tweak to it can really make all the difference. I'll start peeling again. I'll get wrinkles that, especially like around my neck, they will start filling in and peeling off again. And so it's kind of like a refresh. And sometimes I do it once a year, sometimes I do it once a month. It just depends if my skin is like going back to knowing your skin. It depends on if I feel like my skin needs it, if it's looking dull. Another thing that I will credit Obagi with is, I've just been very ill over the years with the Crohn's, and have been malnourished and low on all my vitamins and stuff, but my skin didn't change through all that. I would be anemic and my skin wouldn't change. Everything else would, and I would be, draggy and everything, but my skin wouldn't change. It would still look the same. And so I'll credit Obagi with that. Okay, so the products that I use, I clean my skin twice a day. Now, I usually just use a Shiseido cleanser. I like them. I clean it in the morning. I clean it at night. I do not use a toner. Obagi system has a toner, and I have used it, but I haven't felt the need for it, so that's one thing I did drop. They have two cleansers that I have both of them. So sometimes I did this over Christmas, the week after Christmas, and boy did I peel. I added the Foaming Gel Cleanser by Obagi. Now, this is a cleanser for normal to oily skin, and they also have one for normal to dry skin that I keep kind of around. And using this one for the normal to oily skin, that week after Christmas, it threw a wrench in my skincare. It was like my skin said, oh, well, my goodness, something's different. And so it reacted. And that's what I like for my skin to do, is to react, to gently react, not drastically where I added a whole bunch of different things and done drastic things to it, but subtly react to it. And it did. It reacted a lot just by adding this. And I did that for a while. And then I went back to my foaming gel. So let me go through the system and tell you what I use and what I am saving for the future. Okay, so I clean my skin. I'll start at night. I clean my skin, and then I use the blender, and I put a pea-sized amount of blender in here. The blender has hydroquinone in it. Now, I mentioned that a couple of the products you can only get through medical. These two, the blender and the clear, you can only get through the medical. And the confusing part is the over-the-counter has something with similar names, but it doesn't have the hydroquinone. So they have a blend FX. Instead of the blender, they have a blend FX that does not have hydroquinone. And they have a clear FX that does not have hydroquinone. I know nothing about that system, like I said. So I will get people say, oh, I can buy it online. Yes, you can buy it online, and I'll go to their link and it'll have blend FX or clear FX, and that's not the same thing. And I'll say, no, that's not the same thing. That's their over-the-counter part. So when they split it up, it really confused a lot of people. But this one, I mix the blender, not the blend FX. The blender I mix with Retin-A at night and a pea-size amount in my palm, mix it together, put it on my face, neck, ears, take the smear and kind of put on the outer rim of my eyes. Okay, then I go to bed. I don't use any moisturizers with this system, no eye creams or neck creams or anything. I only use the system, and I only use those two products at night. Back in the day, Dr. Obagi did not, I think they have a moisturizer now, but his original system did not have a moisturizer, and that's what I got used to. I don't care for moisturizers. I feel like they interfere with the skincare, what I'm trying to do. I feel like they weigh my skin down. My skin always feels heavy and looks more wrinkled and saggier when I wear moisturizer. I like it tight and real firm looking, which means I want it to be a little drier, I guess, you know, a little more reactive than just moisturized. I just don't like the look of moisturizer on my skin, so don't wear it. But if you need to, that's, you know, it's a personal decision. So blender, retin-A at night, go to bed. In the morning, wash my face, and then I will use a vitamin C serum, but I added that later. And then I add Exfoderm. This is a mild acid that I add on top of that, and then I add sunscreen. But I always use this. Now, Obagi Medical, they make a stronger acid called the Exfoderm Forte. That is big guns, and it is really strong. I'm saving it. Saving it for the future when I want to really get rid of some wrinkles as I age more and more. Now, when I want to shake things up, I keep this, and when I want to shake things up, I will use this instead of my regular Exfoderm. I'll use the Exfoderm Forte, and you know, get a good peel, a good reaction going, and then I will switch back to my Exfoderm. This is my default, the Exfoderm, but you know, to how I'm sharing how I make these products work for me over the years. I will throw in sometimes some Exfoderm Forte, but that's what I do periodically, and it is strong. I can't use it for a real long time because it's so strong. I would have to kind of start over again. If I was to go to the Exfoderm Forte, I would have to take away my vitamin C serum for a while, get used to the Exfoderm Forte, then gradually add the vitamin C serum. It's steps. It's steps all the way through your life with skincare, I think. The retin-A that I like to use most of the time, I will have the doctor, ask the doctor to call in a prescription to CVS for retin-A, and I will get a tube of generic retin-A. When I have some extra money, when I've gotten some birthday money, because I always ask for birthday money, Christmas money to buy my skincare. It's that important to me that I'll do without, you know, jewelry or something. So what I do is I will, if I can afford it, I will purchase the Obagi retin-A. It's not supposed to, but I find a difference. I think I'm so used to everything that when I match products and when I add this to it, it's just a bit of cut above the other retin-A's that I have tried. And with this system, I remember one dermatologist told me not to ever use I think there's a liquid retin-A, not to ever use it with the Obagi system, that it was not compatible. I don't know how true that is. I've never tried the liquid retin-A, but they always said to use the cream, and I just like to use the Obagi cream. It is more expensive, so I don't do it. I do it periodically when I can. It's something that I would spend extra money on instead of a necklace or something, so I do like to do that. Those are all the products that I use. Then, of course, my sunscreen, and my sunscreen that I like is the Unseen Sunscreen by Supergoop. That's the one that I like. But I do very few steps. I wash, put on a product or two at night, wash, put a product or two on in the morning, and that's all I do. So I just feel like over the years, Obagi has served me well. I feel like over the years to come, however much time the Lord gives me, I know I can depend on this skincare to agree with me and to be the one that is the right skincare for me. I am not tempted, which kind of goes what I do, you know, doing YouTube videos, but I don't ever have any urge to try any other kind of skincare. I just don't want to rock the boat. I like what this system does to my skin, and I don't want anything to be different about it. So that's why I stick with it. Okay, that is it. That is a rundown, I think, of the Obagi system. If I think of anything more when I'm editing, I will put it on at the end, you know, come back on and add a little add to it. But for now, I think that is it. I hope this was helpful if you're thinking about, you know, getting into the system. Number one, Don't mix a lot of other products with it. Keep it simple. Number 2, get used to retin-A first. Number 3, maybe put off adding vitamin C serum. Number 4, do it under a doctor's care. Number 5, use a good sunscreen. It's simple. You don't have to really think about it, but it's a good system. It really is. Thank you so much for watching. I sure do appreciate it. And everybody have a wonderful week coming up. I'll talk to you all in a couple of days. And I got a new foundation that I'm trying. So I'm going to see, I'm kind of curious. I've heard so much good buzz about it. I'm going to see how it stacks up against my holy grail Nars. So we'll see how that goes. I'll do a comparison on that. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Take care. Love you all. And talk to you all in a couple of days. Bye-bye.